Good morning. This week's assembly is about Jesus performing his first miracle. But before we get into that, I'm going to hand over to members of the form who will read the opening prayer and the gospel reading. The story of the wedding at Cana is a very well-known Bible story, and there are many, many depictions of it in art. Here's one which has a very medieval English style about it. If we look at what the bride and groom are wearing, very medieval English style. But the main theme of our painting is here, where we have Mary speaking to Jesus about the fact that they've run out of wine. This painting, very Renaissance style, but you do have to wonder, look at these stone jars down here. Would they hold 20 or 30 gallons? I don't think so. They would here, but however, how long would it take to fill them up? Look at the small jar that's being used. And don't forget, they couldn't just turn a tap on. They'd have to go and draw the water from a well. This painting by Tintoretto, who was a Venetian, and this is a very Venetian style wedding. You've got the chaps sitting down one side of the table, you've got the ladies sitting down the other side of the table, which is what would have happened in medieval Venice. And at the end of the table, would he have been a guest of honour? It doesn't mention that he is, but sitting at the end of the table is Jesus and his mother Mary. We can tell by the halos that we're shown here. This painting by Paolo Veronese is the largest painting in the Louvre Museum in Paris, and it is the story of the wedding at Cana. Very different to those other paintings that we've seen. If we take a closer look, we've got Jesus here in the middle, sitting next to Mary, his mother. But look at what's going on. There's all sorts. So we've got a violinist, we've got dogs, we've got people pouring wine here, but we've got people climbing about all over the place. And quite raucous, and a bit more like possibly the weddings that you and I might attend, unlike this one. Would you want to go to this wedding? Look, not a smile amongst them. It's more like a funeral than a wedding. But weddings are fun. We enjoy them. We dance. We see people that we haven't seen in a long time. And when you're a teenager, somebody says to you, "Haven't you grown?" I remember it well. And photos get taken and photos get shared on social media as well. But they didn't have social media back in the days of the wedding at Cana. They didn't have mainstream media. They didn't have newspapers. They didn't have television. They didn't have radio. But still the word spread. Now, had they had social media, we'd have had tweets like this, wouldn't we? With somebody saying, "You won't believe this," and it would have spread like wildfire, and there would have been people saying, "You're an idiot," fancy thinking that happened. But here was an actual witness. Again, on Instagram, we'd have had posts like this with people saying, "You won't you won't believe what's happening here." Oh, magazines, radio, it could have been spread all over the place, but it was not, was it? We get lots of guests at wedding. Here's another wedding picture. And At that wedding, there would have been lots of people, and there would have been people that actually saw what happened, that they filled up the jugs with water, and when they poured it out, it had turned into wine. And the word would have spread gently, and the word would have spread far and wide, that Jesus the Nazarene, Jesus the carpenter, Jesus Joseph's son, you know that Jesus, he turned water into wine. And he chose a wedding to do that because, we believe, there would have been lots of people to see and hear all about it. Our reading tells us that this was the first of the signs given by Jesus. It was given at Cana in Galilee. He let his glory be seen, and his disciples believed in him. That's the important thing. He showed them, and they believed in him. But there is also, in our reading, there is a message for all of us. It doesn't come from Jesus himself, but there is a very clear message that we should do as instructed by his Blessed Mother when she said to the waiters, "Do whatever he tells you." I'll now pass back over to members of the form to read the intercessions and the closing prayer.